The Manhattan skyline glittered like a scattered handful of diamonds, a fitting backdrop to the life Isabella Moreau knew. Daughter of a shipping magnate, Isabella was born into a world of privilege, where caviar was casual and private jets were commonplace. Her life was a whirlwind of board meetings, charity galas, and meticulously curated social appearances. Love, she'd always thought, was a luxury she couldn't afford. Then she met Damien Sterling. Damien was the heir to a tech empire, a man whose sharp intelligence was matched only by his disarming charm. He possessed the same polished veneer as Isabella, but beneath it, she sensed a kindred spirit, a fellow soul navigating the isolating world of inherited wealth and immense responsibility. Their first meeting was at a Sotheby's auction. They both bid on the same rare Monet, their eyes locking in a silent battle of wills. Damien, recognizing her, conceded with a wink. Later, he approached her, his smile as captivating as the impressionist masterpiece they'd both coveted. Their courtship was a whirlwind of stolen moments amidst their demanding schedules. Romantic dinners in secluded corners of the city's finest restaurants, late-night talks on Damien's penthouse balcony overlooking Central Park, secret rendezvous in art galleries and hidden speakeasies. They discovered a shared passion for vintage jazz, a mutual love for escaping the city on horseback rides through the countryside, and a deep understanding of the pressures that came with their respective empires. Isabella found herself falling hard. Damien was the only person who truly understood her, who saw beyond the carefully constructed facade of a Moreau heiress and appreciated the intelligent, ambitious woman she was. Damien, in turn, was captivated by Isabella's sharp wit, her unwavering dedication, and the genuine kindness she often hid beneath a layer of pragmatic ambition. Their romance was a fairy tale, a sweet and heady dream woven from shared aspirations and undeniable chemistry. But fairy tales, Isabella knew, rarely reflect reality. The reality was, their businesses demanded everything they had. Isabella was preparing to take over her father's shipping empire, a task that required relentless travel and unwavering focus. Damien was on the cusp of launching a revolutionary new AI technology, a project that consumed his every waking thought. The stolen moments became rarer, replaced by hurried phone calls and postponed dates. The romantic dinners turned into business lunches, their conversations dominated by market share and quarterly earnings. The distance, once measured in miles, began to grow between their hearts. One rainy evening, they met at a neutral location, a quiet bar nestled in the village. The shadows under their eyes were deeper, their smiles strained. The unsaid hung heavy in the air. "Isabella," Damien began, his voice laced with regret. "I can't do this anymore. Not like this. My work, it needs everything." Isabella nodded, tears pricking her eyes. "I know, Damien. Mine too. We're just too busy." The words tasted like ash in her mouth. Too busy to love. Too busy to be happy. They made a pragmatic decision, a decision fueled by logic and ambition. They separated. No dramatic pronouncements, no bitter recriminations. Just a quiet acknowledgement that their lives, for now, were incompatible. The months that followed were a blur of board meetings, international flights, and endless negotiations. Isabella threw herself into her work, burying her heartache beneath a mountain of spreadsheets and shipping contracts. She proved her mettle, impressing her father and silencing the doubters who questioned her capabilities. She was successful, powerful, respected, and utterly miserable. Damien, too, achieved his goals. His AI technology was a resounding success, revolutionizing the industry and cementing his legacy. He was featured on magazine covers, lauded by tech titans, and drowning in accolades. But the joy felt hollow, the triumphs bittersweet. He missed Isabella's laughter, her sharp intelligence, her quiet strength. He missed the way she challenged him, the way she made him feel like he was more than just a balance sheet. He missed her, desperately. One cold December evening, Isabella found herself drawn to the very art gallery where she and Damien had shared one of their first dates. She wandered through the halls, lost in the timeless beauty of the paintings. As she stood before a Van Gogh, a familiar voice echoed nearby. "It's remarkable, isn't it? The way he captured the light, even in the darkness." Isabella turned, her heart leaping in her chest. There, leaning against a pillar, was Damien. He looked tired, but his eyes, those unforgettable eyes, held a depth of emotion that made her breath catch. "Damien," she whispered. He straightened, his gaze unwavering. "Isabella, I had to see you." 1,000 unspoken words hung between them, the ghosts of missed opportunities and lingering regrets. "I've been thinking," Damien said, his voice raw with vulnerability, "thinking about everything we gave up, about how stupid we were." Isabella stepped closer, her hand reaching out to touch his. "We were young," she said softly, "and ambitious, and afraid." "Afraid of what?" he asked, his fingers intertwining with hers. "Afraid of letting someone else in," she admitted, "afraid of losing ourselves in something bigger than our careers." He shook his head, his eyes burning with sincerity. "But we were wrong. We were already lost, without each other." A long silence stretched between them, broken only by the muffled hum of the city outside. Then, Damien stepped closer, his hand cupping her cheek. "I miss you, Isabella," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I miss everything about you. I made a mistake. Can you forgive me?" Tears streamed down Isabella's face, a mixture of relief and pure, unadulterated joy. "I forgive you," she said, her voice trembling. "I miss you too, Damien, more than you know." He leaned in, his lips finding hers in a kiss that was both tentative and desperate, a kiss that spoke of regret and longing, of forgiveness and hope. Their reconciliation wasn't a fairy tale ending. Both knew their careers would always demand a significant portion of their lives. However, they made a promise to prioritize their relationship, to carve out time for each other, to communicate openly and honestly, even when it was difficult. They learned that love wasn't a luxury, but a necessity, a grounding force that made the pressures of their demanding lives bearable. They were both rich, successful, and powerful, but now, they were also truly happy. They had found each other again, and this time, they weren't letting go. The Manhattan skyline still glittered, but now, it was a reflection of the love that burned bright within their hearts, a diamond brighter than any they could ever afford.
Subscribe to see more stories.